Great to have you with us, not just here on the show, but we hang out a little bit outside the show. And one of the things that I first picked up from one of our first conversations is that you can tell a manager's statement of intent from his starting lineup. So let's go back to the Argentina-Mexico game. What was the intent behind the lineup from Tata Martino against Argentina?
Right. A lot of the interpretations and a lot of supposed to be the starting line. I did say that I prefer to wait until the lineup came out, and exactly the two things were to me where the two wing backs will defend the 14 meters channel, the outside channels, and the three at the back will defend the width of the penalty spot. The decision was who played as an anchorman, and who played as a left arm and the right arm. And I thought if that was his intention, he got that right, because Hector Moreno played on the left, and then it was Montes as an anchor, and as a right arm was Nestor Araujo. My question was, and not now because the score is known, but if you remember, we spoke about this, and when I did have to give my understanding of this starting line, I didn't understand why the number 6, the number 5 in other cultures, the defensive pivot, the holding midfielder should have been, in my opinion, Edson Alvarez. Like, there are 2-3 teams that have played in this World Cup with the back three, and one of them was Denmark. And if you remember, they play Højbjerg playing here, and then these two guys, if you have a proper center defensive midfielder that can block, can cover a lot of ground, and every duel will be contested by him, then you can have two inside players that can be like 8-10.
Right.
But knowing that Messi,
Di Maria, Martinez, yeah.
and then the Paul will come probably on this side, and knowing that when they are in the attack, this area, they try to open it for a guy like Messi, then that wasn't well thought.
As soon as you see this lineup, Profe, are you thinking he's going defensive or offensive? Like, he's looking, because when you do 5 at the back, it's 3 center backs. You can have the ball and you may be more offensive, or you can say we're going to defend. When you saw the lineup, what did you think?
I think that whatever team that plays with 3 in the back, the guys that make the difference to become either a defensive team or an offensive team are the 2 wing backs, right? So apparently, when you see that, then you say Jesus Gallardo will go and Alvarez will be here.
Right.
Now, during the game, this is what happened, and Mexico didn't take advantage of that. This is Guido Rodriguez. This is Lautaro. This is the left back.
It's Acuña.
Acuña.
Yes.
Acuña. And then the guy in here was McAllister. And from around the 12th minute, what they did, and it was very clear, is the Maria will be in the sideline, just with his back to the sideline. Messi will come here. Montiel will be here as just trying to fix somebody, and the Paul will come in there. And they will try to bring everybody here with the idea of attacking this side, because then Mexico will vascular.
Yeah.
They will leave this open.
The
And
weak
that
side.
was quite open from the beginning.
Yeah.
Which means that in Mexico recover the ball, this should have been the outlet ball. and it was never like
It looked
that.
tentative. Let me ask you a
Was never
question.
like that.
You mentioned the midfield. You mentioned Ensign briefly. When I see that it's Hector Herrera, Guardado, and Luis Chavez, to me that means we're going to have the ball. That's the message that Tata Martino is sending to Mexico.
You're saying based on the skill sets
Based
of
on the
those
skill set of those
players.
players, they're not going to defend and chase. But I thought it was a game where you needed an Edson Alvarez, this player right here, because when they score a goal, it's literally right here. That he's an especialist, is a specialist in that zone 14 that you say. Messi scores the goal zone
Exactly.
14. Edson isn't there. Why wasn't Edson there?
And a lot of people, well, a lot trying to justify that decision. They say, well, he only got the ball there once. Well, but you have to realize, you look at his statistics, and he scored a lot of goals coming from, let's say, the inside channel, coming in and hitting the ball, or getting in here. And obviously, if the ball comes from this side and he's standing here, when they just leave them, just this pass from, I think it was the pole, in here, all he has to do is get it with his outlet,
yeah.
with his left foot, so the ball comes here, and make it very difficult for Herrera to cover. And then he gets a shot and is in. And you have to plan for that. You have to understand, with this guy, we cannot let him shoot from that zone 14.
Uncontested, yeah.
Now, at the 40th minute, when Guardado got hurt, that's a perfect scenario to say, well, I can change this. And then he went for Eric Gutierrez, which I think he's a good player, but for this specific game,
Not a skill
Mexico
set.
need
Yeah.
a midfielder there that could block the shots, that will go and contest every ball, that is good in the air, and is a positional player. He likes to be there.
Yeah.
Hector is more like an eighth, up and down guy. And then when that happened, then you end up bringing Irving and Vega here, and then you are too far away from the other goal.
Okay, Profe, I've set up the Blues here. I've changed them from Argentina to Saudi Arabia, right? Saudi Arabia seems to play in a 4-1-4-1. So I want to know what your strategy would be against Saudi Arabia, considering, one, we know how they play, and two, we know that Mexico need to score. So how would you then set up the Mexican team in this huge game against Saudi Arabia?
Well, the first thing is you have to attack. And that the statement of intent is, we're here to win this game. We need to score goals, because that will make the difference.
So go back to a 4-3-3?
No, I think I would play with.
Show us.
I would play with 3 forwards
Okay.
and 2 inside midfielders that can attack, and I would play my anchor man there. So I will resign. Is that clear?
Sí.
Yeah.
I will resign to a central defender, and I will make Edson here. I'll play Edson here. Those 2 guys, whatever he decides to play, any of them, but they have to be offensive players, and hopefully they will bring the game to Arabia. And the other thing that I want to be that I want to reiterate myself is, now Saudi Arabia has to attack.
Right.
And if they do that, like they did against Argentina, I can almost guarantee that if Irving plays here and they decide to play
Vega, Antuna, who would you go with?
any of the guys, they too can have at least one chance in a counter-attacking game.
Okay.
Because they are quick, fast. I didn't say that Irving is a better player than Mbappe. No, I didn't say that. I just say that as far as speed, as far as who can cover more ground in seconds,
one of the faster
he
players.
is one of the fastest guys.
And let me ask you a question. A lot of talk, especially from our colleagues on Deportes, that Tata Martino may switch from a nominal 9 to a 9 that's more ligero, like an Alexis Vega or a Chucky Lozano. Do you recommend this 9 to be one of those players, or will you go with a Henry Martin, Funes Mori, or Raúl Jiménez?
I would recommend a fast player here.
A fast player as a
Because
9.
you can always, like today, even Brazil, they have the fastest guys at front, right? For them, Rafinha,
Richarlison.
Neymar, Vini,
Yeah,
Vinicius. Right, and those are the guys that they go out front. Richarlison, I don't think that he's quick, but the wingers have to be the fastest guy on the 11th. And then you decide what to do with these two guys. Could be the ones that organize the team, but please do not leave here. Stay there.
Who's this guy?
Edson Alvarez.
Edson Alvarez.
Edson Alvarez.
Okay.